really disturbing censorship by the police and control by the police around the picket that was outside the Israeli ambassador's residence in Swiss Cottage, which I've covered a few times on the show. And this is not covered at all on the mainstream media. You don't even get it on your left media. They're not covering this story. So, I'm going to play a clip. This is the intimidation that has been faced by people who are mostly Jewish in IJAN, the International Jewish Anti-Zionist Network, picketing the Israeli ambassador's residence in Swiss Cottage. They now don't even go outside the residence. They were going near the station at Swiss Cottage.
Fucked. You're not fucking Jewish. You're not fucking Jewish. You're not fucking Jewish. Don't turn around and give me this fucking horse shit that I can't speak out when cunts are doing this and hating Israel.
You, my friend, support baby killers. You represent the lowest of humanity.
We're calling on the police to walk out the Zionists who are here to provoke and make trouble. We don't want them attacking the picket. This is a peaceful picket of women and children. Do not engage with the Zionists.
Everybody will be dead in the future.
What's the best way to strangle a baby? One hand or two hands?
I am not shouting!
I'm not Jewish! Take your mask off! Take your mask off! You're a fraud! You're not Jewish! What are you doing holding that? No, she's not Jewish.
This is what the picket is!
Shame on the police! Do your jobs!
I'm not Jewish! Take your mask off! Take your mask off! You're a fraud! You're not Jewish! What are you doing holding that?
Oppose this protest. Not us, the peaceful protesters on this side. We're not attacking anybody in Swiss Cottage. We're not preventing any Jewish people to go to synagogues or anybody to go to any other business. The people who are surrounding us are the people who are making the trouble. And the police have to act accordingly.
That is really scary. It's been going on for a while, the intimidation and the police turning a blind eye effectively to it. But then on Friday, I was going to live stream from Swiss Cottage to show what was happening. But just before the live stream, before we were arranging it, the police put out this statement on the website saying conditions imposed on weekly protests in Swiss Cottage. The Met has confirmed conditions have been imposed on a long-running protest in Swiss Cottage. The static protest in Finchley Road at the junction of Eaton Avenue has been taking place on a weekly basis on Friday since October 2023. From Friday the 28th of February, i.e. the Friday just gone, the protest organised by the International Jewish Anti-Zionist Network, IJAN, must take place within a designated area in King's Cross. That's 3 miles from Swiss Cottage. The decision to impose these conditions has been made with a view to minimising serious disruption to the community in the Swiss Cottage area. We spoke a few weeks ago about how the police themselves were circulating notices asking residents to almost complain about that picket. The police were going around asking people to send in complaints to an email of their own. So the protest didn't go ahead in Swiss Cottage. The picket didn't go ahead in Swiss Cottage on Friday, but it did do something, a protest outside New Scotland Yard on Friday evening. We managed to get our cameraman Carlos down there. And I've just got a short clip which I found very interesting as well.
It is not a demonstration against Hotovely. This demonstration is to protest against the decision of the police to ban us from Swiss Cottage. Shame! The officer in charge is being reasonable with us. He's accepted what we're saying. So it is important that we do not chant against the ambassador. It is important that we restrict ourselves, or we can do anything else, but this demonstration, to repeat, is not directed at her. If we do that, we run the risk of breaching the conditions, them shutting down this protest and arresting us.
We're joined by Jonathan Fluxman, but I mean when I saw that, Jonathan, I was just totally blown away. I mean, the fact that you've been moved 3 miles, the attempt to move you 3 miles, and then you protest outside the police, and they say you can't mention the Israeli ambassador. What can you tell us any more about this?
Yeah, hi Crispin. Thanks for having us on the show again. Yeah, the whole thing is just totally outrageous. We are absolutely incensed by the behavior of the police. As you said, weeks and weeks, well, months. In fact, the Zionists have been attacking our picket really for about a year now on a pretty continuous basis, week after week. They are there every single week. And this culminated in, well, over the last few weeks, really. I mean, you mentioned the survey, which was just an attempt by the police to stir up local feeling against us. Then we had an episode on the 31st of January where there was the same kind of thuggery. And in fact, they threw eggs at us that day, causing criminal damage to our banner, and 2 assaults. The eggs hit 2 different people, both women, of course. Then we have the Jewish Chronicle article, 2 articles in the week leading up to that orchestrated assault on the picket. They invaded our picket space, allowed to do so by the police. And then for 20 minutes, we had a baying mob standing at the barrier, shouting obscenities and insults in our faces. Outrageous, right next to the police, who did nothing. No one was arrested. Multiple criminal offenses took place right in front of them, and they took no action. After 20 minutes, they eventually moved them across the road, and we were able, after a little while longer, to carry on with our protest. And then, as you say, we got the banning order. We heard late the night before. We had a meeting in the morning, and we agreed we would go to New Scotland Yard. Now, when we got there, we had no idea what the police were going to do, whether we were in breach of the section order. It was so vaguely worded. And I hated having to say that we couldn't chant against Hotovely. Hotovely is the reason we set up this picket in October 2023 outside her residence. And so this is just having this chilling effect on free speech. We're not allowed to protest against her. We're not allowed to protest against a genocide. It's completely outrageous. I just wanted to say a word of thanks, actually, to all the people who came down. 3-4 hours notice. There were about 200 people outside New Scotland Yard. It was a fantastic response. Our sister organization, Jewish Network for Palestine, came down. We had people from the Community Camp for Palestine outside the US Embassy. And it was a marvelous response from the movement. The other thing I wanted to come on to, actually, was the implications of the police's actions. What signal are they giving to the people of Swiss Cottage and to the people of this country at large? That Zionist thuggery is rewarded by shutting down a protest against genocide? Is Zionist thuggery now going to rule in Swiss Cottage? It's just outrageous. What are the local people supposed to think? We weren't the only victims that night, that clip you showed. Local passers-by got the same treatment. At one point, we understand a local woman was walking past and was accosted by them and abused and berated, and 4 men followed her up the road. I mean, it's just, beyond belief. Again, no action by the police. But, coming on to the politics of it, the banner that was torn down by Jews, by Zionist Jews, reads Jews against genocide. So what we're seeing here is Zionists tearing down a banner saying Jews against genocide. Therefore, Zionism supports genocide. You couldn't have a more graphic description or display of the politics of Zionism.
Yeah.
And
Now, look, you've only got a few days now to work out what the next plan is. I mean, a weekly picket is something that you don't often see. So, what are you meeting up soon to discuss that?
Yeah, we will do. I mean, we're not going to take this lying down. We're going to fight this tooth and nail. We demand the immediate reinstatement of our picket at Swiss Cottage, and to section the counter protests, so-called, who are the same bunch of Zionists every week, and get them out of the way so we can exercise our Article 10 and 11 rights. The police have utterly failed to protect our rights to demonstrate under the European Convention of Human Rights. So yes, we're going to be meeting to decide what to do. We'll be talking to our lawyers to see what they can do about it. But we're not taking this lying down. We're going to fight it tooth and nail.